list.
Hello. Welcome once again to another edition of the newest Sprite Raven. It's Friday. That means it's movie night, and our topic tonight is H.P. Lovecraft's The Whisperer in Darkness. And joining me, as always, the review crew, the Green.
Hello.
Goblin.
I cannot wait to review The Whisperer in the Darkness.
It's the Green Boblin.
The Green Boblin.
Okay.
The green shirt.
Yeah, I know you got a green shirt. I just didn't understand how you got Boblin. That's all.
It's just kind of a word I threw out there.
Okay. And, of course, we got Figaro, John Norris, in the house as
Well,
well.
folks.
Sorry. My phone's not friendly. Anyway, kind of a crazy week.
Yeah, it has been. Absolutely.
So,
Busy.
Yeah. So it's like John was so busy, he just finished watching the movie.
Like half hour ago, you just finished watching it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do I owe you an apology or?
No, you do not.
All right.
You just need to relax.
Okay. I'll just curb my enthusiasm.
Yeah. It's all right. All right. The Whisperer in Darkness from 2011. Directed by Sean Brainey. Written by Sean Brainey and Andrew Lehman. Based on The Whisperer in Darkness by H.P. Lovecraft. Produced by Sean Brainey, Andrew Lehman, and David Robertson. Edited by David Robertson. Starring Matt Foyer, Matt Lagan, Lance J. Holt, Andrew Lehman, Stephen Blackheart, David Pavao, Don Martin, Joe Sofranco, Barry Lynch, Martin Waitley, Daniel Kamen, Casper Marsh, Autumn Wendell, Sean Brainey, and Amy Abrams, and Zach Gold, and John Jabali. That's pretty much the whole cast. I think I might have missed one person. Distributed by the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, so I guess they approved it. It was released on May 19th, 2011 in the United States, and had a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes.
I think you missed the best boy in the key grip. I think that's what you missed.
Okay. All right. Well, since you are the guy who just is over the moon about this, I'll let you read what it's about.
All right. So this is a story told by Albert N. Wilmarth, an instructor of literature at Miskatonic University in Arkham, Massachusetts. When local newspapers report strange things seen floating in rivers during a historic flood in Vermont, Wilmarth becomes embroiled in a controversy regarding the reality and significance of the sightings. He sides with the skeptics, blaming old legends about monsters living in uninhabited hills that abduct people venturing too close to their territory. During a debate with popular fiction author Charles Fort, where Fort, who is a real-life author and science speculative specialist of the era, embarrasses Wilmarth, Fort's experience as a journalist, coupled with his wit and contrarian nature, prepare him for his real-life work. Ridiculing the pretensions of scientific positivism and the tendency of journalists and editors of newspapers and scientific journals to rationalize things instead of using scientific methods and logic. In other words, the Holmesian deductive reasoning of when you have eliminated the impossible, Whatever. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You have eliminated the impossible. Whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Is abused, and the impossible is always explained away. After the debate, Wilmarth is confronted by a young man outside of the after-show reception. He is the son of Henry Wentworth Akeley, a man living in an isolated farmhouse near Townsend, Vermont, who claims to have proof that will convince Wilmarth he must stop questioning the creature's existence. The two have been debating via letter exchanges that include an account of the extraterrestrial race chanting with human agents in worship of several beings, including Cthulhu and Nyarlathotep, the latter of whom shall put on the semblance of men, the waxen masks and robes that hides. Akeley's son claims that these creatures harass them at their farmhouse nightly. He has brought photos as evidence, and Wilmarth and the rest of the scientists at the university, the reception, are shown the evidence. He urges Wilmarth to pay his father a visit and to bring along the letters and photographic evidence that he had sent them. Wilmarth reluctantly consents after the others bully him into it. Having left for Vermont without telling anyone of his intentions, Wilmarth arrives in Vermont to be escorted by someone strange who claims Akeley is unwell and couldn't meet in person, but he will take him to the farmhouse. Alas, the bridge is out, and Wilmarth has to continue the rest of the way on foot. He arrives to find Akeley in a pitiful physical condition and immobilized in a chair in darkness. He tells Wilmarth about the beings and the wonders they have revealed to him. He also says that the beings can surgically extract a human brain and place it into a canister, wherein they can live indefinitely and withstand the rigors of space travel. Akeley says he has agreed to undertake such a journey and points to a cylinder bearing his name. Wilmarth also listens to a brain in a cylinder as it speaks, by way of attached devices of the positive aspects of the journey and why Wilmarth should join it in the trip to Yugoth, the being's outpost on Pluto. During these conversations, Wilmarth feels a vague sense of unease, especially from Akeley's odd manner of buzzing, whispering.
Whoops, something's missing. Okay, hold on. There's a little more on the bottom there.
Okay. Overwhelmed by this revelation, Wilmarth tries to sleep, but overhears a distinct conversation with several voices, some of which are distinctly bizarre. Once all is silent, he creeps downstairs to investigate. Thus begins the third act, which is divergent from the original Lovecraft story. The third act consists of entirely new material in which Migo are revealed to worship Shub-Niggurath, and Wilmarth uncovers an attempt by cultists to open a gateway between Yugoth and Earth. He foils the plot with the help of Hannah, the daughter of one of the collaborators. They try to escape the creatures via a plane, but their escape is unsuccessful, and at the end of the film, the audience discovers that Wilmarth has been narrating from a machine attached to the cylinder in which his brain now resides. This differs from the original story, in which Wilmarth flees in the middle of the night and safely returns to Arkham after discovering that Akeley had already been put in the jar, and he'd been talking with one of the aliens in Akeley's form.
Okay. I will say that they did try to make this movie feel very much like the era that it takes place in the 30s. Some of the sets were kind of sparse, felt low budget. The cast was okay, I suppose. I felt like I was watching a stage performance more than a film. Outside of the third act, when you actually get some action going in the biplane scene, this could have been a stage play for John's people to perform locally and probably would have had about the same level of acting skill. The cast, especially the Miskatonic University alum who smokes the tiny cigarettes constantly, and Wilmarth's boss who warns him off the whole adventure at the beginning of the movie, are so droll and annoying that I found myself fast-forwarding through the film until Wilmarth was actually on his way to Vermont. P.F. Noyes, the guy who weeks Wilmarth and drives him up to a certain point before they learn the bridge is washed out, he was played well. He was probably the best actor of all of them. But I was ultimately just kind of get to the story. Quit taking so long. Mm-hmm. I could have easily edited out 10 to 15 minutes of this movie. I was bored until they finally revealed the third act. And if it hadn't changed the third act and given us some excitement with the biplane chase and the creatures trying to bring him down, It just would have been dull to me. And then you realize it was at the ending and the hint reveal without showing. Well, that was sort of cool. It does defeat the purpose of the original source material. Now, maybe because I watched it when I was tired, maybe I was wrong time. I was too tired. I don't know, but I just wasn't feeling this one. It wasn't bad, but I just wasn't feeling it. Chris?
All right, so I absolutely love this movie. Like I said before, I've seen a lot of H.P. Lovecraft, and this movie does not fall in that category at all. They capture the atmosphere and the sense of dread that Lovecraft stories tend to overwhelm the main character and the viewer with perfectly. I thought the music, the lighting, the pacing just cranked up the anticipation. And they did it so well with each new reveal, in my opinion. I also like the third act and the biplane chase, even though it completely diverged from the original story, where Wilmarth escapes and lives to tell the tale back at Miskatonic U in Arkham, Mass.
John?
All right. So first, let me say, I believe this is the first H.P. Lovecraft adaptation I've ever watched. I don't remember if I've watched any others, but I have to say I like this movie, and to me it felt like they were stylistically they were going after the classic Universal films of the 30s and 40s, and I think they really did it. First of all, the cinematography, the black and white cinematography was just, I thought it was great. It was very, very crisp, and especially watching it on my 55-inch TV, it looked amazing, and also the music score I thought was really effective, and
so good,
and because music scores for horror films are really hit or miss for me, because like some of them are great and some of them just turn out to be so cheesy, but this one was not that at all. And it's nice that it actually sounded like a full orchestral score instead of some like really synthesizer heavy thing. But the music and the, I mean, yes, some of the acting was wooden, but I actually didn't mind that. And I will say, like, the music and photography and even the sets, like that's what kept me really involved, even when some of the acting kind of didn't. And I don't know what their budget was on this. I'm assuming it wasn't a high budget, but really, to me, the only place where their low budget really showed was at the very end, when you actually saw the creatures.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like, I really felt it really looked better than you would expect a low budget film to look.
Right.
I don't know if I agree about the creatures looking that bad, considering. I think the only thing that really looked bad was when they got the girl out of the plane and dragged her off and dropped her. That looked bad. That looked kind of screen grab hokey type looking.
That's hard to pull off a CG as well too. So that's
right.
That's actually a harder shot to pull off than the creatures.
Yeah. That would be the only thing I would say that looked bad. But I mean, they could have done it the old school style with rigs, and like they would have done in the 30s, it would look better. But yeah, it was okay. I actually didn't mind the look of the aliens.
Yeah, I absolutely loved the heaviness and the gravitas that the black and white and the music gave to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt so dark and foreboding, like just like an H.P. Lovecraft movie should. Like it just made you go kind of crazy. So heads
Believe,
up to yeah.
okay, believe it or not, supposedly, I don't know if this is true. Pardon me. If this is true, they only had $50,000 budget.
Wow,
Wow.
that's crazy.
So for $50,000, yeah, that's
They made the most of that. Wow, that's incredible.
if that's correct. I don't know if it actually is. I'm trying to find another one that confirms that. You know, I keep hearing shoestring budget, which 50,000 would definitely be a shoestring budget.
Right.
But I only see one place that actually says it was 50,000. So I don't
and
know.
and John, we are definitely going to have to visit on our movie nights the whole 80s Stuart Gordon Lovecraft adaptations.
Like Reanimator.
Yeah, like Reanimator, uh, uh, The Beyond, or I think it's From Beyond, and yeah, just all of those. Like, there's probably like a good 6 or 7 of them, I think.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like the evil clergyman, stuff like that. Just
Oh, that
it's
sounds right up my alley.
it's really good. Like, yeah, it's good stuff. So we're definitely gonna have to visit those.
Yeah, eventually. We got so much to, like I was saying before the show, I've got over 300 films on Tubi alone that I haven't watched. I gotta get some of these watched. Yeah. But nobody's saying anything. We got 2 people watching and not saying anything. But anyway, Chris, you gave it a 5 out of 5. I'm flummoxed by that. I'm not saying it's not a good film per se. I don't see it being a 5-star. That's all.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I gave it a 3, and John's in the middle of a 3.5. Did you think? Hold on a minute, my computer's being silly again. Mm-hmm. Did you? I'm talking to John. I'm trying to think here how to phrase this. Since I said before you started watching that you were going to be in the middle, did I kind of guide your grade a little bit?
No, I think I would have given it a 3.5 regardless.
Okay.
Yeah, and again with the Stuart Gordon 80s Lovecraft adaptations, we need to watch them if for nothing else than Barbara Crampton naked and in BDSM gear. So.
The things that turn him on.
I thought John would appreciate that.
No, the thing is, I kind of wonder, since he's always got his headphones on, his partner Angie's in the other room, and she hears him yapping, and she doesn't know the context of the things he's saying.
No, absolutely not.
So it's like, I keep wondering if he's going to like get off the show and get completely destroyed.
A lot of times, yes.
What were you talking about? Oh my God.
Sometimes the filter between my brain and my mouth is just like, what? No. It's not there.
All right. Okay. Well, let's see what we're going to do next week then. We have 3 choices. We have the Frankenstein meets The Space Monster from 1965, Devil Girl from Mars, 1954, and Queen of Blood from 1966.
3 guesses as to my choice, and the first 2 don't count.
No. What's going to happen is we have to go to the wheel and see what we're going to get.
The Wheel of Doom.
So, you guys ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Oh, there we go. Interesting choice.
We got Devil Girl from Mars from 1954. And that one is on Tubi, so we'll be good to go. And John's John's playing the role of it today.
Right. There's John's hairline. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know what the Devil Girl of Mars is, let me go pull it up real quick. It doesn't want to do it, of course. Uptight leather-clad alien armed with a ray gun and accompanied by a menacing robot comes to Earth to collect its men as breeding stock. 1950.
Oh, bravo. Stellar choice.
With Patricia LaFawn, Hugh McDermott, Hazel Court, John Laurie, and Peter Reynolds. So we'll see how silly this is next week. But
I'm sure it will be the peak of cinematic excellence.
At least for B movies of 1950s.
Right, yes. And the Oscar goes to...
But anyway. So, what do you got planned for the weekend, gentlemen?
Practicing music for me because on Monday we have Moana Junior auditions.
Oh, nice. I will be making sure that the podcast, the Glass House podcast, plays at 8 o'clock sharp
Tomorrow
with plenty of links. So I'll be doing that and whatever Angie has planned for me.
Okay. And we were going to have a live draw and art show, but unfortunately I have to postpone it because I've got some other stuff coming up that I didn't expect to have happen. I got to take my dad to tomorrow, so I won't be able to get everything ready for that. So maybe someday I'll be on be able to do a live draw, but I don't know about doing getting all the artwork ready for sale and stuff. So we'll see.
Right. And John, it's really sad because John was going to make his only Grand's debut, and we were going to do some live sketches of John at the piano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I'll take pictures of myself for reference.
There you go. Oh, God. John, naked at the piano.
You're too much sometimes, you know that?
Yep. It's the green today.
Yes, it is. Now you're never gonna get that image out of your head.
Alrighty, man. We'll see you guys on Sunday or Monday. So I'll see you guys next. But oh, thank you for watching. If you want to reach out to us on social media, it's not sharing the screen like it's supposed to, of course. Why would it do that? Here we go. Contact me on Facebook at Lewis.BrightRaven, at Muskrat channel, Twitter X at LewisBrightRaven2. You can see more of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You can see Chris's coloring work at deviantart.com/fatboy73. You can watch Quoth the Raven, Lewis Brightman exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, suggestions for any films or comics you want us to review, Quoth the Raven LBR72@gmail.com. And if I don't get back to you, try Lewis Brightman at yahoo.com. And if you want to talk to this crazy person up in the top right corner there, yeah. Um,
It'll be an interesting conversation.
He'll guarantee you that much anyway. I'm he actually gets paid to go for Babel now. So I imagine I have to wonder what kind of conversations he gives them now. Anyway, GH throwing stones at gmail.com is one way to reach him, especially if you're looking for portfolio reviews from David Kimpiti from Glasshouse Graphics. And if you want to talk to John, it's grayfigaro@hotmail.com. All righty, folks. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. Quoth the Raven.
Nevermore.